Okay, it's Thursday, April 5th, 2018, and I've been trying to watch some uh, simple videos about repairs to electronics, one thing or another. I haven't been able to enjoy much about current events. There's a pell-mell effort to replace supermarket tabloids with uh, television tabloid reporting on current events. So I've kind of backed off from much of that. I think it's true that people need to, opinion leaders need to meet people where they are. And I think they've done that in large measure. But then, having met people where they are, people aren't led to achieve better results from that point. Uh, I think sometimes when people are met where they are, there needs to be an awareness of what amounts to an opportunity to lead them to a better place politically. And failing that, I've tended to pay attention to some videos about other matters of interest. Uh, uh, and I can say, too, that I think YouTube was wandering in the wilderness for a few years. And then about 3 years ago, it's as though there was some sort of epiphany, and YouTube cut to the chase and has been doing far better since, most notably in terms of fair use. And now it seems that Facebook is really worse off than many people have admitted. The amazing thing is that, to my knowledge, no one has come close to offering as much potential as Facebook offers in many ways. But I think it's fair to say Facebook is in dire straits, and the irony is it has nothing to do with the Russians or all the sensational tabloid stuff about all of that. And really, I think Facebook has concerned with monetizing and promoting networks that can be profitable in amazing disregard for what some people would like to be able to do. The reprisals that Facebook makes if people do not network are absurd. So, I don't think that a free service like Facebook is necessarily obliged to give people something for nothing, but then I don't think users should be obliged to give away something for nothing. And there's an impasse, and well, yes, people think of Facebook as too big to fail. They thought that of the Titanic too. The Facebook isn't yet exactly like the Titanic, but really, without getting into particulars, I think Facebook really does need an attitude adjustment uh, and reprisals for people who don't necessarily want to uh, network with a bunch of people are really misplaced. I read that Zuckerberg says there are two kind of people: those who are willing to network and those who concern themselves with content. And he observed that people who network are better people in terms of success than people who are concerned with content. And, well, that's so blatant that I think it's a political tactic for him to have said that. Uh, and I won't dignify the gambit by any particular argument against that. Instead, the machinations seem less and less interesting to me in terms of my activities because of my handicaps and one thing or another. I'm more or less, stay in my apartment and try to find something that I can do rather than to try for things I can't do. Facebook seems it's a puzzle. I can say I'm disappointed, but not terribly. I was at one point very, very disappointed with Google, and for that matter, YouTube. And then I'll have to say, I have been amazed by the renaissance of useful attitudes by the Google people, and in particular, YouTube, although YouTube decided to jettison a few features in terms of, dare I say, networking. They basically discontinued some of the options that people had, and I'm not going to second guess them on that because overall they've made a big difference in their own activities. Facebook seems to be in the wilderness somehow, but I'm not concerned with the tabloid commentary about Facebook, the retail scandals. I'm concerned about matters that I think parallel what happened to YouTube years ago. So I therefore think, well, if YouTube can reform itself, then so can Facebook, even though it hadn't happened yet. Meanwhile, there are other things to think about, like Patreon, some of the other formats. Patreon needs to become more user-friendly before I'll pay much attention, but I'm looking forward to that. But there's so much now on YouTube that's of value to me, whereas I would like to continue as I once could with Facebook. Right now, I really can't, but I will if they revise their reprisals in favor of users. And there's a good chance they might, but there's no guarantee. But this in particular, there are many things of interest to me. Of course, I prefer, to be more athletic and stuff, but basically, I'm not very athletic anymore, and it's a real shame, but I'm very thankful for the internet. It makes a big difference, whereas cable TV is uh, almost over the top. Uh, so then, that's a little commentary. I'm now going to put aside this camera work. I'm still, trying to come to terms with the fact that I lost my LG V10 and had to replace it with an LG V30. And the V30 is dumbed down in a way. I would prefer to have kept my V10, but, there's nothing I can do about that. So, bye for now and have a very good day, everybody.